Alright guys, how are we doing today? Today we're going to be doing a juice review from the King's Crown line. The particular juice that we are going to be vaping is Claim Your Throne in 6 milligrams. For those of you who do not know, the King's Crown line is made by Suicide Bunny. These particular bottles are 30 milliliter glass bottles. They do not have a child safety thing up on top. So if you do vape these juices, make sure to keep them up where your kids or anybody else can't get a hold of them that don't need to have a hold of them. Always remember, whenever you are doing with something that does not have a child-proof lock on it or anything like that, to please vape safe. Just a little bit of information about the juice before we go too much farther. The entire King's Crown line is a 70% VG, 30% PG line. The particular juice that we are vaping on today is a sweet cream, butterscotch, and brown sugar. The way I'm going to set this up and do this is I am going to vape it on 3 different devices. I am going to vape it on my Pegasus clone with the Mutation X Addy here, which I will have a review for later on. My Mutation X is just a tad bit different than some of the other ones that have been going out, and that's because mine is a prototype, because I got it from the guy that made it. So the next device that we're going to have up is the iTaste MVP. We have an AeroTank Megon here, which I will talk about here in a little bit whenever I vape on it. And the last device that we are going to be running today is a BoxMod. This BoxMod has an SX350 chip in it. And for those of you guys that don't know, this chip can run up to 50 watts at the moment. There is an upgrade coming up for it later, but we'll get into that a little bit later. I do plan to do a review on this SX350 in my next video. So without any further ado, we are going to go ahead and jump in and vape, and we'll talk about the juice afterwards. Now, the coil that I am running in this is a 0.15 G-Plat coil. Sorry about that, guys. With the G-Plat, it does bring out the flavor a little bit more, which is why I did use the G-Plat. Right now, I'm getting a real heavy hint of the cream, a little bit of the butterscotch, and hardly any of the brown sugar. So I'm going to go ahead and take one more vape off of this, and then we'll jump down into the next device. Still the same thing. Next, we're going to be running it on the iTaste, and right now I have it set up to 11 watts. I am running the 0.08 replacement coils for these. Before I got my hands on those, I really did not use that this much because it really wasn't that good. With the stock coils, I did not like this thing whatsoever. It just did not perform up to standards. So we're going to go ahead and take a vape off this, and then we'll dive down into the last one, which is my BoxMod, and then we'll talk about the juice a little bit more. Now, here on the BoxMod, here on the iTaste, I am getting a little bit more of that cream and brown sugar flavor. I'm getting a slight hint of the butterscotch, but not much. I'll go ahead and take another vape on it, and then we'll go ahead and move forward. It's still the same thing with that. So as we move on to the last one, I have a 0.5 ohm coil in here on top of the Stellar, and we're going to go ahead and give this one a vape. I've got the airways opened up about halfway on it, so we're going to go ahead and give her a vape and see how she works. Now with this one in particular, I am getting a very, very heavy scent of that butterscotch, which I do tend to favor a lot more. I tend to vape around the 0.4 to 0.7 ohm area. It's one of the best areas I've found where you're not hogging up juice, and it's a nice cool vape, and it brings out a lot of the flavor. Overall, I would rate the juice on a scale of 1 to 10 out of 10. That's my personal preference, but it's like I said, since I have picked this juice up, I have absolutely loved it. It has become one of the top juices that I vape on a constant basis. So if you guys feel like picking it up, I will put a description and a link below where I picked mine up, and I'll put a description of a few other places that you might be able to pick this up. So you guys have a good day, and make sure to vape safe.